As the fear gripped West Crowley tighter, Clementine Barnabette sat in her cell with a calmness that terrified even the guards. Detectives, reporters, and even priests came to question her, but she stared through them as if they were ghosts. Then one day, with no warning, she began to talk. In a voice that sent chills down spines, Clementine calmly admitted she had murdered entire families, 17 victims in total, she claimed, including the Randalls, the Andres family, and the Brousards. But even worse, she insisted she hadn't worked alone. There were others, she said, and they would keep killing. Clementine called them the Church of Sacrifice, 5 members, including herself. Their twisted belief was that by sacrificing entire families, they could gain eternal life. According to Clementine, they had bought a voodoo charm called a conja from an old hoodoo priest. If they performed the ritual properly, no one would ever catch them, and they would live forever. Detective Lacoste's hands shook as he took notes. Was this girl confessing to something real, or was she a lunatic? The more she described the murders, the more grotesque it became. She told them she sometimes disguised herself as a man, broke into homes, and slaughtered everyone with an axe. After one killing, she even went to the victim's funeral, comforting their relatives like nothing had happened. But Lacoste noticed how Clementine's stories kept changing. One moment, she was the leader of the cult. The next, she was simply a pawn, following orders. Then she would laugh and say she didn't hate the victims. She just wanted to hold them after they died. It was madness, but some parts of her tale matched real evidence. The blood on her dress, witnesses placing her near the crime scenes. Even her father had testified that on the night of the Andres killings, Clementine came home with blood soaking her clothes, refusing to speak. Still, nothing fully explained the murders that happened while Clementine was in jail. The Brousards were killed while she sat behind bars. Lacoste felt as if the ground beneath him was cracking open, revealing an even darker abyss. Had Clementine lied, or were there more cult members out there still hunting families? Then the letters arrived at the sheriff's office. Mysterious, handwritten notes claiming, "We are the real killers." Was Clementine protecting others, or was someone using her as a shield to keep their own bloodlust hidden? The town was in a state of constant panic, and Lacoste felt powerless. Eventually, Clementine went to trial, charged with the murder of the Randall family. Her lawyer argued she was insane, suffering from religious delusions. Clementine didn't care. She stood before the court and said, almost proudly, "I don't care if you execute me." Psychiatrists were called to examine her. They described her as morally perverse, mentally deficient, and shockingly ignorant. She failed lie detector tests, but even then, she kept repeating that she had killed 17 people, and her cult had slaughtered as many as 300 across the country. The court sentenced Clementine to life in prison at the Louisiana State Penitentiary. She showed no fear, no remorse, only a strange blankness in her eyes as they led her away. But the horror did not stop. After she was locked up, more murders happened. Same acts, same ritual buckets, same eerie messages. The pattern was spreading, even reaching Philadelphia. If Clementine was locked up, who was committing these murders? In 1913, she attempted to escape from prison but was caught. The authorities grew so afraid of what she might do next that they ordered a lobotomy, hoping to tame whatever darkness lived inside her. Strangely enough, it worked. She changed completely, becoming calm and almost gentle. Prison guards said she was like a different person. Just 10 years after her sentence began, Clementine Barnabette was quietly released. She disappeared into history, and no one ever heard from her again. The files gathered dust, questions forever unanswered. Was she a sadistic killer leading a cult of death, a victim of abuse whose mind snapped? Or a scapegoat, caught in something far more sinister? We will never truly know.